Donald Trump is now the most unpopular president in American history. It's not because of the economy, although that's one of the big factors. It's not even about the Epstein files that he promised to expose, although he hasn't. Even after congressional orders tell him to, he hasn't. It's not even about ICE going around American cities, gunning down American citizens, although that's one huge factor. The issue that's splitting Americans, at least splitting MAGA away from Donald Trump, happens to be the Iranian war. The war that Donald Trump himself started. Now, back when it first started, Donald Trump supporters were all gung-ho. Let's bomb the hell out of them. But as more and more casualties on our side continue to mount, the deaths of American servicemen now up to 18, and wounded and injured soldiers up to over 600, more and more Americans, especially in the MAGA, are questioning why we are continuing this war. And those questions are getting louder and louder and louder. That's now affecting Donald Trump in his presidency. Even ride or die Donald Trump supporters in the media, specifically Fox News, specifically Lauren Graham, are actually warning the president that this could have an effect on him and the midterms, in which the Republicans seem to be getting closer and closer to losing. Quoting her, with the midterm elections a little more than 100 days away, the clock is ticking for President Trump to get out of this war before voters head to the polls. Continuing, it makes a lot of Republicans nervous. It's already, as we know, unpopular. According to the new Washington Post poll, 69% of Americans disapprove of the handling of this conflict. Republicans cannot let this become an endless distraction, especially if they want to win in November. I hate the way I wanted to say this to you, but unfortunately it's going to be an issue in the midterms, an issue that could cost the Republicans the House and possibly even the Senate. In the 2026 midterms, the numbers are not looking good for Donald Trump. But the real frightening part about this is the simple fact that Donald Trump and his minions may be thinking about doing the unthinkable, crossing a very dangerous line. Now I'm quoting to you Timothy Snyder, an historian who wrote the book On Tyranny. The title of the book is literally On Tyranny, which is often cited when discussing the Trump regime. He believes that a possibility of a false flag terrorist attack in the United States that can be blamed on Iran is not without the realm of possibility, as the president's approval numbers continue to slide. On a post on X, he wrote this, and I quote, "Trump is pursuing this war in the hope that Iran carries out an act of terror in the United States. And even if it doesn't, which I doubt it will, consider the possibility that Trump's people would fake one. Please consider this essay, written back in March, as well as the last few lessons on tyranny. A purpose of the war in Iran may well be to provoke a terrorist attack in the United States. This will provide Trump with pretext to cancel or federalize the coming congressional elections. Self-terrorism might not be within the initial aim, but as time goes by, failures and atrocities mount, its appeal will grow. Trump could think he has much to gain for the war. The war itself makes terrorism more likely. There are possible victors of terror, and the United States has let down its defenses. We know that he's obsessed with the fall elections, which his party is almost certainly to lose by spectacular margins, and that he fears the adherent loss of power. This is clear from his own statements and actions, unquote. I wish I were being hyperbole about all this. I wish I was being hysterical, and I wish I was telling you propaganda. But considering the nature of this beast, Donald Trump, and the beasts around him, like PXF, J.D. Vance, General Kane, all of them, it's not outside the realm of possibility that they could possibly want something terrible to happen in this country as a pretext to cancel the 2026 midterms. I hope to God that they're not that jaded or that stupid or that corrupt or that destructive to our country to want something like that. Donald Trump is the worst president in American history. That is not just my political opinion. Those are the stated facts. No president in modern American history, not even when you look at him and Richard Nixon, no president has done what Donald Trump has done in the shortest space of regaining power. No president has ever thrown a shadow on our electoral processes. No president has made over $2 billion in cryptocurrency as president of the United States. And most importantly, no president has ever started a war on the premise of another nation having nuclear weapons at the behest of another government. So it's not without the realm of possibility that he can shore up his political standing by wanting something terrible, as in another 9/11 style attack on our nation, possibly killing Americans for the sake of staying in power. It's not without the realm of possibility. I just hope it doesn't happen. And if it does, I hope Donald Trump and his regime are held responsible for it. When 9/11/01 happened, this country became united, regardless of who was in office. At the time was George W. Bush. It didn't matter because this country was united after suffering a deadly terrorist attack. If another 9/11 attack happens while Trump is in office, we will have those questions in mind. Did you provoke this? Did you let it happen? Could you have prevented this? All the same questions that Bush faced. This country won't unite if another 9/11 style attack happens, because we know that Donald Trump's war in Iran is so unpopular that it's a very possibility of it happening is very, very high. And knowing how incredibly corrupt, incredibly unpatriotic, and more to the point, inhuman what Trump is, He may let it happen. He'll take credit for the response, but he won't take responsibility for it happening. And that is something we cannot forget nor forgive if it does happen. CTP, know truth, God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share my videos.